So, you heard this whole debate today and you became part of it today. And thank you so much for taking the lead on it. After hearing all this, do you think that the auto sector needs to accelerate its actions? And whether the industry needs to come together to do this with SIAM and provide resource to SIAM? What are your suggestions to Safe in India, to the industry, to accelerate this agenda, to actually make it happen, which then we can report through our crushed reports? I'm dying to see the date, and so is Chitra and rest of my team, when our graphs start coming down instead of going up. When will that happen? How will that happen? Gorakh Ji, what's your thought? And that's a closing comment, and we'll close after that.
Yeah, basically, it's the right approach also. But before approaching CM or ACMA or any such body, all OEMs and their suppliers has to do preliminary work on the safety, health, and environment topics. Like I shared what Bajaj did in case of tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. So that basic activity must be in place. And especially focus from OEM should be on the non-industry sources. And we can use expertise from ACMA as well as CM for further improvements. Like for example, CM can work on the industry sources or multinational companies, which they, of course, they have their own practices, but standardization of same, that can be helpful. One. Second, we are not seeing only the practice of safety on the workplace, but at the same time, the compliance of the legal laws as well as the compensation to the workmen is also part of entire bucket. So where we can have the CM's help in the simplification of those aspects, that will be a great help to all OEMs and its suppliers. At the same time, ACMA is having a lot of expertise on safety and other things. I would like to share one example, because in one of the review meeting at our end, a need felt whether we can have assessment of our suppliers, especially from electrical audits or fire safety audits. So that was the topic. But whether we have that expertise available at our end, or a point here is whether we can take the help of ACMA. So what we did, we approached ACMA. This is the requirement, and whether you can help us. So I would like to gladly say that the ACMA immediately said, yes, we can have the expertise, we are having the expertise, and we can have the audits of critical vendors done on this side. And believe me, on third or fourth day, the audit started at vendor's end. Prior to that, our team and ACMA started working, interacting with the check sheets, modifying the check sheets, and then arranging who can be the vendor first, second, third, what will be the time and how is the methodology. And this is how we could use expertise of ACMA in improving the electrical safety. That was the great. So we should use ACMA, we should use CM. In fact, I will say the expertise at Safe in India, also we have interaction, and that is helping us in the entire supply chain. Like we have also worked with the social compact. So that is also one input. So whoever is a body who can give the inputs on the journey, most welcome. We should take, compile, and move forward. So naturally, it will be beneficial to all of us, and it will be, of course, a win-win situation. But we should use their expertise in a proper way. It should not be asking somebody to audit something or asking somebody to do something. That should not be the criteria. It should be the maximum benefit we should get out of this.
Gorakh Ji, thank you. That's a great perspective again. And I'm glad that you mentioned that you are working together with ACMA. And I know ACMA team is here and they have been part of our forums before. And there is a huge amount of work that needs to be done there. And they have the resources, I hope, and the industry provides them the resource. I just want to read a comment and then ask a question again from you, Gorakh Ji. Is Rajiv Williams says that, frankly speaking, we need to be more demonstrative in our approach than just reiterating what needs to be done with regards to business and human rights. Please encourage more companies to carry out due diligence on important indicators BNHR. I think it reiterates the message that you're saying. I'll ask you this question, which Abhaji has asked, and I'll have to stop after this and just summarize the day, which is, Abhaji is asking, it's great to see business and worker conversation here, but what about the government? Right? We talked a little bit about government in the presentation, and from our point of view, we are laying responsibility more on auto sector brands because they have the power, they have the resources, they have the expertise, they have the profits, they have the capital. Government moves slowly when it moves. It's a big movement, and Garimaji very represented that extremely well today. What are your expectations from government? Can industry work with the government on this? DG Fastly, for example, which is an expert of safety advisory to the government, or regional labor institutes. What do you think government should be doing parallelly?
The question is to me?
Yes, please. Sorry,
okay.
I put you in the spot.
Yeah. Basically, we should also work together along with the government for a simplification of the processes and how to reduce the time between the processes so that ultimately the workman who is suffering from the accidents can be benefited immediately. That was one of the aspects. I would like to quote one example. In Aurangabad, we worked closely with our dish officials. And the same is the case of Chakan also. So we have interaction with dish officials from Bajaj side, understand their views, understand reporting the cases of the accident from the various suppliers, not only Bajaj, but other industries also, learning from those aspects. And we had common meetings along with suppliers, dish officials, and Bajaj people. We have common sessions, how we collectively work upon these aspects, improve upon that. In fact, dish officials appreciating the efforts of improving the tier 1 culture, activity, importance of safety, and extending it to tier 2 and tier 3. In fact, tier 2, tier 3 vendors came forward, presented how they benefited through this initiative. So that is how we should work together, whoever is working on the safety, and collectively we should improve everybody's life, be it workman, be it a person who is working on the office, and all other aspects.
I think it's a great point that on the ground level, at the state and district level, the action that can be done with the government can be really influential, of course. And I think I must congratulate Gurgaon and Faridabad Industrial Safety and Health to have that platform with us, and Maruti, Hero, Honda, Isuzu, and I think a couple of other brands joined in Faridabad. We hope to have that in Pune, and we'll need your support there for that, Gorakh Ji.